Hello and thanks for joining us on Nationwide on NTA. I'm Elizabeth Omori. The Presidential Panel on the Reform of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad of the Niger Police has submitted its report to the federal government with far-reaching recommendations aimed at improving public safety and security in the country. President Muhammadu Buhari, who received the report, directed the Inspector General of Police, Solicitor General of the Federation and the National Human Rights Commission to work out modalities for its implementation within the months. Details of this report will come later. Meanwhile, a high-powered delegation is in New York for the 74th session of the UN General Assembly, which begins Tuesday. President Muhammadu Buhari has sent the federal government's delegation to support Nigeria's candidate, Professor Tijani Mohammed Bande, who is the permanent representative of Nigeria to the United Nations and contestant for the position of president. In a statement signed by the senior special assistant to the president of media and publicity, Garba Shehu, the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, is leading the delegation. President Buhari is confident that Nigeria's imminent presidency of the 74th session of the UN General Assembly will provide a unique opportunity to accentuate Nigeria's voice on political, social, economic and environmental challenges facing the world. Nigeria looks forward to working with UN member states to promote international peace and security, prevent conflicts, strengthen global action to tackle climate change, ensure inclusion, human rights and empowerment of youths and women among trending global issues. Meanwhile, the headquarters of the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) in Abuja was Monday shut down by workers' union over alleged attempts to reinstate suspended DG Munir Guazor. This was done under the auspices of the Association of Senior Civil Servants. Leah Katung Babatunde reports.
Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria SCC branch on Monday morning locked up offices of the headquarters of the commission. Guerzo had been indicted for abuse of office and corruption by an administrative panel of inquiry set up by the Federal Ministry of Finance, headed by the Permanent Secretary, Mahmoud Issa Dutse. He was also indicted by the House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee, which investigated his suspension by the former Minister of Finance, Kemi Adeosun. The National Industrial Court in Abuja had on Thursday, the 30th of May 2019, ordered the immediate reinstatement of Munir Guerzo to his position. Justice Sanusi Kado, in his judgment, held that the Minister of Finance, named as the second defendant in the suit, lacked the power to suspend the claimant. Mr. Kado, who dismissed 3 issues raised by the defense counsel through their preliminary objection, ruled that the suit was not status barred. In addition, Mr. Kado said the administrative panel of inquiry that indicted the claimant was not a court of law. Neither was it a quasi-judicial body, but just a body set up for a fact-finding duty. He therefore declared that the suspension of the claimant was null, void, and of no effect. It is left to see how the drama will play out.
And now to other matters. Pensioners in the Federal Civil Service under the umbrella of the Nigeria Union of Pensioners have appealed to the federal government to include them in the committee to work out implementation of minimum wage so their voices can be heard. The appeal for President Buhari's intervention was made during a peaceful protest by the pensioners to the office of the Secretary to the Federation, where the letter of protest was submitted.
We we've suffered a lot on this pension increase. The other time it was increased, salary were increased. They've just finished paying our 33% in April. Whereas workers have collected their own. So we want the federal government to include us so that by the time worker review comes out, our own too will come out.
The senior citizens want their pensions to be implemented. At the same time, Nigerian workers are receiving the new minimum wage to avoid backlog of arrears. And now to other matters of interest. As Nigeria attains 20 years of uninterrupted democracy, opinion shapers are of the view that the gains of democracy are manifest and have positioned the country on the path of greatness. Guests on Good Morning Nigeria agreed that despite daunting challenges, democracy remains the best form of government embraced by Nigerians. Lydia Sampson reports.
Is when Nigeria's political history was punctuated by military rule. 20 years on, Nigerian democracy is not only evolving, but key players say there is much to cheer.
When a budget, for instance, is passed, there are projects that are listed there, and members of the legislature are there to ensure that the executive implements those projects. It wasn't so. They ask questions. Under the military, you dare not ask any question. You don't even know how the budget, the appropriation comes about. You don't know. On the 1st of January, they will read the budget speech. Nobody ever bothers to find out to what extent those budgets are implemented. They were not accountable to the people.
There was, however, caution that extreme tendencies, such as abuse of various freedom guaranteed by democracy, is detrimental to the process.
One of the advantages we get when a government also has another term in office like this one has got, it's able to learn from the mistakes and the shortcomings of the first term. So it's going to be broad-based. And I believe that this time around, the recruitment process will be better. It will be better. If there were shortcomings before, they will be corrected. And
what stands tall for me, which I will re-echo, is the freedom of speech and freedom of association, the right to elucidate and amplify your own feeling, what you feel is wrong in the system. Gradually, you will have seen Nigerians becoming more or less like almost all Nigerians have become political analysts, and they are becoming so good in it. As it has turned out in the debates where the Nigerian youth debated so hardly to ensure that a bill is being passed. Now we now have the not too young to wrong bill, which is being passed into law.
The guests harped on the need to reform the local governments to truly deliver democratic dividends, while also calling for strengthening of democratic institutions to uphold democratic tenets. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
Earlier, we told you that the presidential panel on the reform of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad of the Nigeria Police has submitted its report to the federal government. We now have visuals of that report.
The panel was constituted in August last year following a presidential directive to investigate allegations of human rights violations and abuse of office against the Special Anti-Robbery Squad and recommend critical reform measures aimed at making the Nigeria Police the pride of the Nigerian people. Presenting its report to the president, the panel chaired by Mr. Tony Ojukwu announced that 35 police officers have been recommended for dismissal, 24 for prosecution, and 2 retired senior police officers found to have violated the rights of citizens be arrested and prosecuted immediately. One of them for extrajudicial killing and the other for illegal takeover of the property of a suspect.
The panel also directed the Inspector General of Police to unravel the identity of 22 officers involved in the violation of human rights of innocent citizens. The police was also directed to pay compensation of various sums to 45 complainants and tender apologies in 5 complaints and directed to obey court orders in 5 of the matters. The panel also recovered 2 vehicles illegally auctioned by SARS officers and returned them to their owners.
Similarly, in his quest towards ensuring that Nigeria has a responsive, responsible, efficient, and effective police institution to decisively deal with criminality, the panel recommended significant improvement in the funding and kitting of the Nigeria Police, establishment of state and local government police force, as well as the renaming of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad to Anti-Robbery Section.
This will also remove the stigma presently associated with the name SARS, ensuring that the anti-robbery section limits itself to tackling armed robbery, while other intelligence and operational units are strengthened to perform their various special tasks.
President Muhammadu Buhari expressed optimism that the report will go a long way towards redressing public grievances, ensuring accountability on the part of police officers in discharging their responsibilities, and facilitating the various reforms being introduced by his administration. Already, he said, major steps have been taken to increase the workforce of the Nigeria Police, as well as enhance the welfare of police officers who put their lives on the front line so that Nigerians can freely go about their daily activities in safety.
The police must at all times act within the ambit of the law and must not violate the fundamental human rights of Nigerians whom they have sworn to protect. Where the rights of Nigerians are violated by police officers while discharging their functions, the government has a responsibility to address the instances of violation in line with its human rights obligations and ensure that such police officers are held accountable for their actions. I want to assure you and all Nigerians that this administration will continue to fulfill its obligations of promoting and protecting human rights, and will give the National Human Rights Commission all the support required to ensure full implementation of the recommendation contained in its report.
The National Human Rights Commission will also be strengthened to enhance its effectiveness and capability to resolve cases of human rights violations, as modalities are being worked out for the implementation of the panel report within 3 months.
The end result would be for the betterment of the police. So we'll look at it passionately to make sure that nobody is punished unjustifiably.
The Buhari presidency believes that public complaints on human rights violations, if neglected, could result into major security challenges. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Time now to link up with the Center of Excellence Lagos, where Michael is standing by for more reports on Nationwide. Hello, Michael.
Glad to see you, Elizabeth, and welcome to the Center of Excellence. Former Acting Director General of Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Callisto Obi, has been sentenced to 7 years imprisonment with an option of fine. Justice Mujisola Olatoregun of the Federal High Court delivered the judgment in Lagos. Vera Chimuba has more.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has charged the former Acting Director General of NIMASA, Callisto Obi, and Alu Dismas, personal assistant to Patrick Akpoblukemi, on accounts of 136 million naira fraud. Also charged were 2 companies, Grand Part Limited and Global Seal Investment Limited, as defendants. The court had convicted the defendants after it found them guilty of allegations contained in the charge. Justice Mojisola Olatoregun, while delivering judgment, noted the prevailing situation of prisons, which she observed were full, congested, and unconducive, which necessitated the consideration of a non-custodial sentence. She, however, said the punishment will serve as deterrent to public officers entrusted with public funds. They were sentenced to 7 years imprisonment or an option of 7 million naira fine in 6 places, amounting to 42 million naira. The court, however, said the terms of imprisonment shall run concurrently, while the fine shall be computed cumulatively. In Lagos, Vera Chimuba, NTA News.
Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has assured Lagos residents that work will commence on Lagos-Badagry Expressway from Mazamaza to Okokomaiko this month. The governor gave the assurance while on inspection tour of the Lagos-Badagry Expressway, with the contractor expected back on site. Nusa Osula reports.
The governor, who inspected the dilapidated road, expressed regrets that the project had been abandoned for a long time. He noted that the road from the National Theatre to Maza has been completed but has become impassable due to indiscriminate dumping of refuse and misuse by traders, adding that massive cleanup will take place in the coming week.
Because it's been neglected for almost 4 years, over 4 years now. So there's a lot of, we've seen a lot of road failures already, right? And so, but we need to quickly bring respite and positive respite to our people that are on this corridor. So our commitment to them is, which is one of the things we promise, that within this month, the contractors will be moving back to site.
Governor Sanwo-Olu stated that part of the cleanup would involve dislodging traders selling on the road from Orile to Maza. He added that a task force would be set up to carry out the cleanup exercise of the 10-lane corridor. The governor also expressed readiness to partner with the federal government to find a lasting solution to the road from Okukomaiko to Semeboda. In Lagos, Nosa Osula, NTA News.
As the holy month of Ramadan winds up, a special prayer session was organized by Luftullah International in Lagos to observe Laylatul Qadr, a night described in Islam as a night better than 1,000 months. Our Yusuf Jibo has more.
Laylatul Qadr, the night of power, is a night described by the Prophet of Islam as a night of majesty and bounty, a night when the acceptance of prayer is accelerated beyond any other. To reap the benefits of this rare opportunity, Lutfullah International organized a special prayer session.
During the month of Ramadan, it's part of the requirements, or mandatory requirements, for us to observe what we call the glorious night. It starts from day 21st to 30. So any of the 10 days will be good for Muslims to also, converge and also pray specially.
Founder of the organization, Sheikh Rabiu Abdul Malik, called on Nigerians not to relent in prayers for the success of the present administration. The scholar also urged Muslim faithful to strive for peaceful coexistence, which guarantees unity and progress. Muslims across the country were also urged to emulate Prophet Muhammad's life of obedience, piety, and justice, which are the hallmarks of Islam.
What they should imbibe is that after the Ramadan, they should continue with these good ways and they don't go to their bad ways again. You still have the mercy of God. But once you go back to it, it's the worst thing that can happen to anybody.
Lutfullah International, as a religious association, is also engaged in humanitarian activities. In Lagos, Awal Yusuf Jibo, NTA News.
That's a contribution from Lagos. The news continues in Abuja after the break. Stay with us.
Arts and immersive environment as part of activities lined up to mark the 2019 Democracy Day commemoration. The exhibition with the theme Unbroken Democracy is scheduled to take place as follows. Date 7th June 2019. Venue International Conference Center, ICC. Time 4:30 p.m. Please note, the exhibition will remain open to the public until June 12, 2019. Boss Mustafa, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, announcer.
Television studio lighting requires skills which can only be acquired through professional training. NTA TV College JOS therefore invites engineers and technical officers in public and private television stations to a special 4-week course on television studio lighting. Date 10th June to 5th July 2019. Course fee 100,000 Naira only per participant. Accommodation fees inclusive. Venue NTA TV College, Rayfield, JOS. The course will expose participants to modern techniques and technologies of television studio lighting, operation of studio lighting equipment, and the profound effect of lighting on television broadcast. For more enquiries, please call 0803-314-4383 or 0806-980-9807. NTA TV College, training you to be the best you want to be.
The Nigerian national flag is a sacred national symbol. It is a mark of patriotism and a show of love for our nation to fly the national flag correctly, in the right colors, right dimension, and in the right sizes for each occasion. In recent times, it has been noticed that government offices corporate organizations, banks, embassies, and other notable institutions fly faded, shredded, and haggard-looking versions of the national flag. This is wrong and must stop. It has also been noticed that some citizens prefer to popularize the national flag of other nations. Fellow countrymen and women, let us be patriotic. Come, let us show love for our motherland. Fly the correct versions of our national flag in all relevant places. Be patriotic. Be proud ambassadors of our great country.
This message is from the National Orientation Agency.
One Football Confederation, 24 teams, 6 stadiums, 4 cities, 504 African stars, 1 trophy. The Africa Cup of Nations Egypt 2019 comes alive from June 21 with the showpiece final on July 19, 2019. Watch the 52 matches of the tournament live on Africa's biggest and largest television network, NTA, in partnership with Hot Sports. Be part of the biggest soccer fiesta in the African continent as the Super Eagles go on a bold mission to clinch the prestigious title for the 4th time, to the excitement of millions of fans across the length and breadth of Nigeria. Nigeria's premier sports production and marketing group, Hot Sports, partners with the biggest, the largest, and the #1 television network in Africa, the NTA, to give Nigerians a memorable viewing experience. Boost fan support for Super Eagles to glory in Egypt. For inquiries, please contact Abubakar on 0803 331 0175 and Felix on 0803 308 2375. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
Thanks for staying with us. And now to religious matters. Muslims have been told to look out for the new moon of Shawwal 1440 after Hijrah, today Monday 29th of Ramadan, equivalent to 3rd June 2019. A statement by the Chairman Advisory Committee on Religious Affairs, Sultanate Council Sokoto, Professor Samba Walid Junaidu, says the sighting should be reported to the nearest district or village head for onward communication to the Sultan through the following numbers. The Muslim Ummah is also reminded of the necessity of paying Zakat al-Fitr. And still talking religion, no meaningful development can take place in a society devoid of peace. It is for this reason that Nigerians have once again been enjoined to imbibe the spirit of peaceful coexistence. This was the meat of discourse at the maiden Ramadan lecture organized by NTA Asaba. Becky Kasimanwuna tells us more.
Faithful from all walks of life converged on the famous NTA Bamboo Arena for a noble cause. Islamic clerics were on hand to harp on the need for Nigerians to foster unity and love.
We must unite because in unity you have peace, you have growth, you have development, you have everything that is positive.
What I want to say is Allah says, La ikraha fi din. There's no compulsion in religion. I would not force the general manager of NTA to become a Muslim. Abadan. It's a thing of choice.
One of those entrusted with the responsibility of ensuring peace and tranquility in the state is the Commissioner of Police Delta State Command, Adeyinka Adeleke, who was presented by SP Lawan Salahuddin.
We are all one, and there is a wisdom by making all different, Muslim and non-Muslim. He has a wisdom behind it.
If you understand identities, you know my identity, I know your identity, I know where to respect you, you know, we will be able to live together.
The General Manager NTA Asaba is Richard Yabo.
We decided to do this. First, to fraternize with our Muslim brothers, to bring about that point that we are all one, irrespective of our various religions. That's our #1 priority, our #1 goal.
The Ramadan fast climaxes with Salah. In Asaba, Becky Kasimaona, NTA News.
And for more report on the season, let's now link up with Felicia in our Jos Network Center. Hello, Felicia.
Welcome to Jos.
As the Muslim Ummah prepare for Salah celebration to mark the end of the month of Ramadan, one key aspect of the month is Zakat al-Fitr, an act of charity which is mandatory for every Muslim adult. In this report, Ben Mitu examines the significance of this religious obligation.
Zakat al-Fitr is a mandatory and important part of Ramadan, which is usually done towards the end, particularly 2 days to the end of the fasting period, but must be done before the Eid prayer. This religious obligation entails that every Muslim adult of income age must pay Zakat al-Fitr in form of raw staple food in the community for themselves and their dependents.
This Zakat al-Fitr is Zakat of feeding, Zakat of grain, Zakat of giving out something that is not cooked. Asking of loan is not advisable in Islam. But if someone cannot do, he don't have the means to do it, he can look for loan to do it and pay later. Compulsory. For every person. Not even if you born a baby today, you must move the Zakat al-Fitr for the baby.
This act of charity is meant to purify the fasting person from indecent words or actions, known or unknown, that were committed during the fasting period. The beneficiaries of the charity act are the needy, especially those who cannot afford what to eat in their homes. This is Mudu Nabi, which has been prescribed as the right measurement for grains to be measured as Zakat al-Fitr. Similarly, the mood of Jos City Center has been activated as the Salah celebration draws nearer. Markets and roads are busy. The ATM points are also witnessing high patronage. In Jos, Ben Mitu, NTA News.
Governor Simon Lalong has signed into law 4 bills which seek to improve on critical sectors of the state. While signing the bills, the governor says this is to set the ground running towards realization of his policy thrust for the people of the state. Priscilla Grumman reports that this is the first official function of the governor after his inauguration for the 2nd term.
The 4 bills are the Plateau State Specialist Hospital Bill, Plateau State Contributory Healthcare Management Agency Bill, Plateau State Energy Corporation Bill, and the Plateau State Water Sector Bill. Giving a synopsis of the 4 bills, Plateau State Solicitor General Rawat Dakwat said the hospital bill, for instance, will give way for the hospital to be upgraded to the status of a teaching hospital, thereby bringing it to equal standing with other tertiary health institutions in the country. The hospital therefore stands a chance to access and benefit from grants and assistance through foreign interventions. The same benefits of improving on healthcare delivery, intensify research and development in solar technology, as well as improve and guarantee citizens' rights of access to sustainable clean water and sanitation. The governor commended the Plateau State House of Assembly for the expeditious passage of the bills and expressed optimism that this will bring speedy growth and development to the state.
The bill for the hospital was initiated and also during my time as a Speaker of the Plateau State House of Assembly. This bill was passed, but the implementation was not there, and we saw the desire this time around to place the hospital in its right place.
Governor Lalong had earlier hosted new and former members of the House to dinner where he applauded them for discharging their legislative duties diligently. In Jos, Priscilla Grumnan, NTA News.
As part of its program to mark the United Nations World Bicycle 2019, the Federal Road Safety Corps Plateau State Command visited the NTA Jos Network Center to give a pop talk to propagate the ideals of cycling to the general public. Salau Abdurrahman Mohammed reports that the team was received by the Zonal Director, Peter Ochibu.
In April 2018, the United Nations General Assembly declared 3rd June as International World Bicycle Day. The resolution for World Bicycle Day recognized the uniqueness, longevity, and versatility of the bicycle. It was in the same vein that the Federal Road Safety Corps Plateau State Sector Command commemorated with the United Nations World Bicycle Day 2019. The sector commander, Stella Orakwe, called on the public to imbibe the culture of riding bicycle for its numerous fiscal, health, and economic benefits to the individuals and economy of the nation. Emmanuel Winter, captain of Plateau State Cycling Association, who also lent his voice to the cause, called on the people's attention to the advantages of using the bicycle.
By the time you ride, your coordinations, your balance, at the same time you rest well.
The Zonal Director of the NTA Jos Network Center, Mr. Ochibo, acknowledged the command for organizing the program and informed them that given the health benefits of cycling, he ensured that the staff and general public will key into the idea of cycling.
Bicycle is very good, just that is most of them are disappearing as a result of so many factors. But when people know the advantages and what they tend to gain from it, I think more interest will be aroused.
The main message of the World Bicycle Day is to show that bicycle belongs to the service of all humanity. In Jos, Samuel Abdurrahman Mohammed, NTA News.
That's our contribution from Jos. It's back to you, Elizabeth, in Abuja for more on Nationwide.
Thanks so much, Felicia. Now, the airlift of pilgrims for the 2019 Easter pilgrimage to Jerusalem is underway in Abuja. The first contingent in the pilgrimage left the shore of Nigeria this Sunday. Dele Atumbi reports.
The first set of pilgrims from Nigeria comprises 350 persons with homogeneous background from Benue State. This homogeneity of the pilgrims makes the flag-off of the 2019 Easter pilgrimage to be unique, as they adorn themselves with uniform. The pilgrims took time out to pray for the unity of the country, all the arms of government, and the prosperity of the people therein.
The church needs to engage the nation in a more positive, more aggressive, and play a more central role in lifting Nigeria out of where it is right now.
To be good ambassadors of the country, and then to portray good images of themselves, and at the same time to abide by the rules and regulations of the respective countries.
The pilgrims are expected back in Nigeria after the 8 days of spiritual exercise. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
As a way of ensuring strict compliance to his directives to the State Water Corporation to provide potable water to the people on a daily basis, Governor Inuwa Yahya of Gombe State paid an unscheduled inspection visit to the Dadin-Kwa water treatment plant. This is also to enable him have first-hand information as to what could have been responsible for the perennial water supply to the people of Gombe and environs, despite the huge government expenses in the subsector. Emmanuel Akila has details.
8 o'clock in the morning, Governor Mahmoud Inuwa and his deputy, Manasseh Daniel, entered the premises of the Gombe State Water Corporation and was received by the General Manager, Issa Muhammad. The state of affairs at the board has...
Soon, people will see change. They voted for change and they will see change, inshallah.
With the situation on ground, the governor has an action for immediate palliatives and lasting solution to water scarcity in the state.
We are going to set a task force that will ensure that water gets to the people as soon as possible.
Governor Mahmoud Inuwa and his deputy Manasseh Daniel visited the residence of Alhaji Suleiman Jallo and that of Alhaji Abdul Qadri Migini to condole them over the loss of their loved ones. In Gombe, Emmanuel Akira, NTA News.
And to talking water, the Federal Capital Territory Administration has assured speedy completion of the ongoing Kashi water project. FCT Permanent Secretary Christian Oha gave assurance during the inspection of the project site in Kashi. Shuaibu Onoze Yakubo has details.
The 18.4 billion Naira project, when completed, will provide water supply to the residents of Kashi and its environs. FCT Permanent Secretary Christian Oha disclosed that the visit is to ensure that the level of work is in tandem with what is contained in the variation certificate submitted by the company handling the project before any payment will be made.
During the time of the former minister, Madam Musa Bello, they've generated certificates. They've done the due process, gone through all the processes. But in our usual tradition, we have to come and see what we are paying for. There will be enough water for the city. It will also generate employment and increase economic activities, both farming and other socio-economic activities in the FCT.
Director, Satellite Towns Development Department, Felix Nwankwo, says the present level of work is at 25% completed.
Within the tenure of these 4 years, based on funding, this project will be completed. And people of Kashi and environs will be happy because we have to be honest with ourselves, they don't have any water supply here.
The FCT is doing its best to find funding in order to fund the project, but always for the contractor, funding is the main challenge.
Earlier, the team visited the construction company's office at Ushafa in Buhari Area Council, where equipment for the project are stored. Shuaibu Onozea Kubu, NTA News.
Benin Network Center is next on Nationwide, and Ogochukuka is our guide. Hello, Ogochukuka.
Hello, Elizabeth. Thank you for joining us. Muslims in Benin are in high spirit as they prepare to mark Eid al-Fitr, the festival of breaking the fast. Bukola Orobusi completes the report.
The prayer ground along Ikoba Slope in Benin is wearing a new look, with some faithful putting finishing touches to make the place conducive for the Eid prayers.
The moon is being sighted tonight. The Salah will be tomorrow, inshallah. But if the moon is not being sighted tonight, this preparation will not be for next tomorrow.
The jihad work. We want thank God to be a Muslim, and God shows us among women that we do the work of Almighty Allah.
Some other faithful engaged in the purchase of one item or the other.
1,000 Naira. 1,000 Naira. This is 700 Naira.
This one, look how much.
This one is 2,000 Naira last.
They prepare for the Salah. We they buy job for ourselves and our children.
The tailors are also very busy trying to meet deadlines.
Almost true. There's a little clothes that remain. That is the one that we are trying to complete it.
But I believe, say, not in evening or tomorrow morning, they will see come package their clothes.
At the market, traders say they are making sales despite complaints of hard times.
Many people that they come that they buy onions, everything that they buy because Allah.
The market is fine.
This celebration marks the climax of the 29 to 30 days fast. In Benin, Bukola Orobusi, NTA News.
The European Union has provided hardware components to Edo State government to expedite work on water projects in the state. This is under its Niger Delta Support Program in Water and Sanitation. Ive Omoyi reports.
The Niger Delta Support Program was initiated by the federal government and the European Union to improve access to safe water supply in the 5 Niger Delta states. Edo State, being one of the benefiting states, took delivery of these vehicles. Governor Bassi wants the team to utilize the vehicle for its sole aim.
We believe that these hardware components, the vehicles, will facilitate and expedite the work we're doing. These vehicles or these components will be used judiciously and for the benefit of the project.
Custodians of the project in the state said this delivery is an outcome of the counterpart fund paid by the state government to the European Union.
The EU delegates provided the vehicles for us. They put it in the custody of the Ministry of Energy and Water Resources.
Some parts of the state are already enjoying clean water courtesy of this collaboration. In Benin, Ive Omoyi, NTA News.
And Ekiti State Governor Dr. Kayode Fayemi says henceforth the full weight of the law awaits whoever commits crime in the state. The governor's stand was revealed during a meeting with traditional rulers and security agencies in view of security challenges confronting most parts of the state. Kola Adebobuyi has details.
The meeting, which had in attendance heads of security agencies and selected traditional rulers, especially the border communities in Ekiti State, is with a view to finding lasting solutions to insecurity, including kidnapping and other criminal activities. Governor Fayemi expressed discomfort with the report of kidnapping, which has become rampant, especially along Aramako, Efon, Itaure-Iwaraja Road, and other parts of the state, as well as other crimes. Ends the meeting to provide practicable measures to curb the evil acts in the state. The governor said there must be effective methods to nip in the bud insecurity to achieve a peaceful society, and warned that anyone found harboring kidnappers and criminals will be dealt with in accordance with the law.
If you are caught kidnapping involved in banditry, you are a criminal, and we should make sure that the maximum weight of the law brought on such.
At the end of the meeting, the stakeholders agreed to set up a committee that will work closely with the heads of security agencies in the state with a view to find lasting solutions to insecurity in the state. From the government house at Ekiti, Kola Adibobviji, NTA News.
And media practitioners in Edo State have been urged to be dedicated to their duties and disseminate information that will enhance peace, unity, and justice in the country. This is contained in the message of Pope Francis to the 53rd World Communications Day. Udwak Obong Achibong has details.
The theme for this year's World Communication Day is "We are members one of another, from social network community to human communities." The choice of the theme for the 2019 message draws from Pope Francis' attention to the social media which the church, the family, and society use almost on a daily basis. At a mass to mark the day at Holy Cross Cathedral, Benin City, Reverend Father Jude Ora relays the message of the Pope to the media practitioners, where they are reminded of the benefits of the social media in granting access to knowledge and information, human connectivity, as well as the dangers it poses in the distortion of facts and interpersonal relationship, increase in self-isolation, cyberbullying, and other social vices.
What are we going to be remembered for? This is our generation. So as media practitioners, let us not be afraid.
For the media practitioners, it is a wake-up call.
Particularly the traditional medium, we should try to get in there to counter the fake news that is going on there.
We should not allow the social media or the internet to be a web.
The World Communication Day was first marked in 1967 by Pope Paul VI. In Benin, Rakobong Achibong, NTA News.
Elizabeth, that's our contribution from Benin.
Thank you so much, Ogochukwuka. Now to security. The Nigerian Air Force has been repositioned for effective air power during the conduct of operations through personnel training. The Commandant, Air Force War College Nigeria, Air Vice Marshal Charles Ohome, stated this at the inauguration of Course 5 2019 of the college in Makurdi. Achihili Magaji reports.
10 times, the country has been faced with security challenges in many fronts, some of which have taken unconventional dimensions. This complex nature of warfare demands continuous training from the armed forces for better ways to confront these emerging challenges. This is in addition to the acquisition of modern platforms and other equipment to execute assigned tasks. The course, which draws participants from the rank of wing commanders and its equivalents from sister agencies, emphasizes lessons learned from all previous field operations on how to implement the needed reforms to address the challenges therein.
This course is in furtherance of the nation's solution to the emerging security challenges and our armed forces' capacity to address them. Specifically, it will assist in the shaping of our military, operational, and strategic capacity.
The course is to last 6 months. The Air Force War College was established in 2016 to develop capacity of middle cadre officers in operational planning and management for effective employment of air power. In Makurdi, Achihili Magaji, NTA News.
The Federal Capital Territory Police Command has arrested 6 persons involved in illegal trading and hawking of the Naira, an offence which contravenes Section 20 and 21 of the Central Bank of Nigeria's Act of 2007, which prohibits the illegal sale or hawking of the Nigerian currency. FCT Commissioner of Police said the enforcement committee is ever ready to sustain the fight against illegal hawking of the Naira. Sophia Nyoma Uche reports.
Was introduced on January 1st, 1973, replacing the pound, making the currency Nigeria's legal tender. As the largest economy in Africa, one may not know that the abuse of Naira attracts steep penalties, hence the offense of selling, buying, spraying, or even squeezing the Naira is 6 months imprisonment or an option of 50,000 naira or both. Commissioner of Police FCT Balachiroma said the Central Bank of Nigeria Enforcement Committee on the Abuse of the Naira, in collaboration with the police and the Department of the State Security Service, carried out the raid at Day under the bridge.
Sum total of 1,948,060 naira from the 6 suspects arrested and others at large at Day under the bridge. The suspects and exhibits have been transferred to the Criminal Investigations Department for further investigation.
I am into this business. I don't know where the man that supplies me with the money works. He only comes around and meets me out here.
200 naira, 50 naira, 20 naira, 10 naira and 5 naira denominations were notes recovered. The police say the offenders will be charged to court upon completion of investigation. Safia Noma Uchi, NTA News.
You're watching Nationwide on NTA. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
They are there at the crack of dawn. They are there busy preparing while we rise for our day. They are there silently, guarding, waiting, listening, and watching. They are there ready in the sky above and the waters below, in the blistering heat of the day, in the dead of night, willing, indefatigable, determined in the defense of the sovereignty of our country. They are our first line of defense and our last. They who have paid the ultimate price in defending us. They are fathers and uncles. They are mothers and sisters and girlfriends and boyfriends. They are brothers and cousins and best friends and neighbors. They are classmates, colleagues, and citizens of this nation. They are our defenders and deserve our respect, our prayers, our thoughts. Nigeria, please support our armed forces.
One Football Confederation, 24 teams, 6 stadiums, 4 cities, 504 African stars, 1 trophy. The Africa Cup of Nations Egypt 2019 comes alive from June 21 with the showpiece final on July 19, 2019. Watch the 52 matches of the tournament live on Africa's biggest and largest television network, NTA, in partnership with Hot Sports. Be part of the biggest soccer fiesta in the African continent as the Super Eagles go on a bold mission to clinch the prestigious title for the 4th time, to the excitement of millions of fans across the length and breadth of Nigeria. For inquiries, please contact Abubakar on 0803-331-0175 and Felix on 0803-308-2375. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
NTA Television College Jos announces admissions into 2-year diploma programs in film and television production, television engineering, and broadcast journalism. The sale of forms will commence on the 13th of May and run through 30th July 2019. Admission forms can be obtained from all marketing offices, NTA state capital stations, zonal centers, or at the office of the academic secretary, NTA Television College, Rayfield, Jos.
On payment of a non-refundable fee of 7,500 naira in bank draft in favor of NTA TV College. Applicants can also send the forms through the NTA TV College portal at www.ntatvc.edu.nj.
Applicants are required to possess 5 credits in GCE or SSCE in relevant areas of study in not more than 2 sittings, including English and mathematics. All properly completed forms attached with photocopies of credentials must be submitted on or before 30th July 2019. For further inquiries, please visit our website at ntatvc.com or call 0803-3144-383.
NTA TV College, training you to be the best you want to be.
Registrar Announcer.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous, whether you do it for fun or for political gains. Real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA.
You can follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online, or visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
Thanks for staying with us. Now, the Supreme Court in Singapore has acquitted a Nigerian, Mr. Adili Chibuike Ejike, who was arrested in 2011 and sentenced to death for importing nearly 2 kilograms of methamphetamine into the country. Mr. Ejike was granted an acquittal by the Singaporean Apex Court on Monday, 27th of May 2019 and released with no outstanding charges. According to the High Commission of Nigeria in Singapore, Ejike's acquittal made history as the first time such a decision was made in a case involving any Nigerian. He was discharged and acquitted based on the fact that the prosecution had failed to establish that Ejike knew that the drug bundles in his suitcase were in his possession. This was because he pleaded not guilty of willful blindness or deliberately shutting his eyes to the truth of his possession of the drugs. According to Ejike's childhood friend in Nigeria gave him the bag that contained the drugs to be delivered to an unspecified person in Singapore. Acting spokesperson the Minister of Foreign Affairs Friday Akpan therefore calls on Nigerians traveling abroad not to accept or travel with any bag or container that they have not personally packed by themselves for the journey. In auto sports, Nigeria's Super Eagles resumed training in Asaba Delta State